Hi, my name is Mike Larsen. I work at SWYM Consulting. I've been with them for about 4 years now. I help with electronics design, PCB design, and parts procurement. I wanted to talk a little bit about the chip shortage that everybody in the electronics field is experiencing right now. Feels like it's the perfect storm of panic buying, overseas conflicts, and running into other products being absorbed with those parts. Right now we have companies like Toyota that have just announced a 40% reduction in production, and that's all because of parts. They're missing their chips. So I wanted to also point out a couple of solutions that we found at SWYM Consulting to kind of help us navigate around that kind of shortage issue. We've gone through the approach of trying to have an agile mindset with our hardware components, where we say, okay, we would like to use this part, it's a crucial piece, but we want to have it and a replacement, up to 3, standing by and ready in case the quantities get zeroed out. We work with many different distributors. We try to have as much in stock as we can, but there's also a chance that it just gets zeroed out and you have to find a replacement and pivot in the bill of materials and in the schematic in order to be able to put the product together. We've had a lot of clients come to us that say they'd like to see this, they have a product idea or a solution that they'd like to see, and any of the work that they've done prior, when they get the schematics or whatever, they're inflexible. The people that they've been working with just do not react when a part shortage occurs. So they're stuck with a design that they can't manufacture or scale up with because the parts aren't compatible or just not there. So it's important for us to be able to pivot. We try and keep a tight loop with our client and let them know, okay, well, we're running short on these parts, but we do anticipate that we'll be able to make a limited run of a certain part order, and through that closed loop we're able to make such a thing happen. We've had other clients show up. For example, there was one that wanted us to work on a remote control solution, and they had the parts that were crucial, and some were low raw based, and we decided, okay, well, we're going to go down, but we're also going to be armed with a couple of contingent parts in case something happens. And it did, and we ended up having to go with our third most part solution in order to make that happen. And luckily they were able to make their deadlines, and the project was able to launch successfully. But we've seen a lot of instances where people are just stopped dead in their tracks. There are so many factories right now that are just on hold. They don't have pivot parts or that versatility that we're able to obtain as kind of a smaller run company. So as far as stuff that I would recommend, I would try and reach out to a company such as SWYM that has the ability to pivot dynamically at this point. They're aware of different manufacturers. They aren't locked in, and they can go to different distributors. They can hunt down the parts. We ourselves are very good at anticipating and trying to keep our fingers on the pulse of when we start seeing the quantities begin to dip down. And we do some slight reactive buying, not panic buying, but enough to make sure that your product succeeds and crosses the finish line. And then there's also a lot to be said about our limited run approach, because limited run is the ability for us to send you stuff and deploy it in phases. So I think armed with a whole bunch of solutions, we're just geared towards being lean, efficient, and pivot friendly. That's pretty much our key to success. So hopefully, if someone decides to work with us, we can get their project across the finish line as well. And that's pretty much all I had to talk about. Thanks.